Ding.
Dang.
Clock Tower.
Wow, 2010 this came out. That's crazy. Because I played it back in the day on an R4 card.
Yeah, I used to have an R4 myself.
Yeah,
I used to have like a Nintendo DS with an R4 on it, and I was like so distraught that I actually lost. Whoa!
Wow, my game actually crashed at some point, which I think was an anti-piracy thing. But I played the rest of the game. It was
so anyway, I lost my R4 and I lost my Nintendo DS, and I felt very
yeah.
distraught about it.
My sister had the Nintendo DS. I just borrowed
A
it.
lot of people, both
mine.
old and new Pokemon fans, say that this is like the perfect first game for anyone that wants to get into Pokemon.
It is.
I think it is.
It is like
definitely
it's like
the epitome.
Gen 2 is when they perfected the Pokemon formula, basically.
Hell yeah!
For a Game Boy, and I think it's definitely like the greatest Pokemon game ever created. Honestly.
Are we going to be a boy or a girl, or are we going to tell Professor Oak once and for all that gender is a spectrum?
I want to be the boy because I don't like Lyra.
Honestly, I was gonna say I didn't want to be cruel or mean-spirited, but I was gonna say the exact same thing. That Lyra's
her
design, like Crystal, like Chrissy, what was her name?
Crystal was the Game Boy Crystal.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember when I was a kid. I recall. Interesting. That's the very first YouTube comment ever. Did you know that? It just goes interesting. ... Yeah.
Did you know that elephants have really, really large trunks?
When when I was a kid, my friend showed off Pokemon Crystal, and he showed off like the Pokemon Trainer ID, and I was just like, you're playing as the girl character, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, that's allowed? That's legal?
So I remember when I played Uncharted online, I would play as Elena, and they'd be like, why are you playing as girl if you are a boy? And I'm just like, I want to look at it go.
I remember one time I did like a Minecraft Let's Play, and like one of the comments was just like, oh, you're a... I saw your Minecraft video. You have a girl skin. That makes you a groomer. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
Of females?
I don't know.
How does that work?
Maybe they were like accusing me of being like a fake internet girl or something.
Yeah, fake. Before we go any further, I'd
Let
like to
me
tell you
do the Professor Oak. I want to do the Professor Oak voice.
Before we go any further, I'd like to tell you a few things you should know about this world. For example, people fuck Pokemon. There are many people with some strange fetishes. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. But if you weren't asleep during our lessons, you would have already known about this, you little bitch. We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends, sometimes lovers. At times we play together, and at other times we work together. This is Peekaboo. Remember Peekaboo?
Yeah, I remember. Let's talk about our Pokemon fake rumors.
Yeah. Do you remember how to get Yoshi in the
you gotta
Mewtwo's
turn the
game?
Game Boy upside down or
And then you have to like go through the Elite Four like 50 times with like a very particular set of Pokemon, and like one Pokemon has to be holding something, and just everything convoluted and arduous.
There was this one that's like, oh, you gotta beat the Pokemon League 365 times, and then you'll get... Yeah.
So you're a boy then. That is absolutely wonderful.
So you're a boy then. Oh, really? You couldn't tell
your name.
Just from looking
Should we
at
just
us?
like merge our names together and be like Mega Freako?
Wait, let's call him
Gold.
Yeah, Gold. No, let's call him
Wait,
Gilbert.
is this the game where like you do uppercase and then lowercase, or just all uppercase?
I think if you enter the first one, it changes the lowercase.
Oh, okay. So, what are we calling him?
Gilbert.
Fuck yeah! All right.
Gilbert, come on, Gilbert.
Oh, it didn't. Oh shit.
Come on, Gilbert. You know the movie.
Everyone's just gonna be yelling his name.
Exactly.
Everyone's gonna be yelling his name. It turns out to be wrong.
Yeah.
Just gonna be like Gilbert.
Fuck,
Like Dave Seville from the Alvin and the Chipmunks. Just be like Gilbert. What the fuck? What are you doing?
Gilbert.
Your name is Gilbert? That's a stupid name.
That's a fucking stupid name. I wouldn't even call my own child that.
That's a gay name.
Gilbert! Are you ready?
Gilbert! Come down and have your shellac.
Come down and eat your dejects.
Come down and eat your deject.
I'll see you later, Gilbert! Okay, here's the moment of truth when we talk to Mom.
Oh yeah, it's gonna say mom in all caps, or it's gonna say nothing. Oh wait, do we have a thingy in the thing?
I think it's Gilbert!
Boot it up the PC and check the mailbox. Ooh, Lyra.
Yeah, I loved the mail system.
What would you like to do with Lyra's mail?
Read! Adventure! Excited! I love Pokemon!
Wait, Lyra's autistic.
What adventure? Excited! I love Pokemon! She's just like flapping her hands and like stimming on a fidget spinner.
Yeah. Adventure! Excited! Oh, Lyra.
Oh my gosh. I love Lyra.
Yeah.
She's the
I
best.
mean, I don't want to play as her, but
No.
she's okay. Mom.
Alright, it's either gonna be all caps or it's gonna be...
Wait, you're on
Gilbert! You're finally
It's
awake.
on the Game Boy, you're on the right side when you go down the stairs.
You're finally awake. No! It was lowercase! We're gonna have to...
Don't change it. Don't change it.
We're just gonna keep yelling his name over and over again? Okay. I love that the hair's like slightly cut off by the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
She was playing hide and seek with
Oh,
a
yeah,
Meryl.
it's like...
Wait, what?
2D sprites getting...
Hang on, the Pokemon's names are all caps, but the
Yeah,
people's
what the
names are like lowercase.
Yeah, that's interesting. So
That
we're
is-
a Pokemon. We are a Pokemon.
We are the Pokemon! You throw a Pokeball at me, I bleed! Punch me, I bleed!
I always wondered if you throw a Pokeball at a person, will they get captured?
Or will they get a black eye?
So
Wait, why is the bag have an uppercase? I'm so confused with the alliteration in this.
Yeah, they didn't have a...
Gilbert!
When I made my Pokemon hack and I was writing...
Oh my god, I just had the perfect voice for our character. Even though our character doesn't speak, we gotta respond with like...
My vagina!
My vagina!
Forget about that guy! Forget about the way you looked into his eyes!
Oh yeah, Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, they made him sing in the Aladdin
That's why
straight to
it's
DVD
all
sequel.
caps, because he's like, my name is Gilbert.
I'm Gilbert. I'm not sophisticated enough for the guy that
What's
does
a buffalo shit?
buffalo
in his
shit
basement.
in his basement.
Okay, so I have a story about this guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Silver.
Yeah. In the game...
famous Pokemon land.
This is the famous
this
Elm.
is the famous Pokemon. What are you staring?
Okay, you're gonna do that voice for him the entire time, because I fucking love it.
What are you staring at?
In the original Pokemon Crystal, his name was like question mark, question mark,
Yeah,
question mark.
yeah.
And then I,
Yeah, like what's his name? And you enter,
Yeah.
it's what
yeah,
it
and I
says.
just entered question mark, question mark, question mark. Gilbert!
Hi, Gilbert.
I've been waiting for you. Why did you make me wait so long? Do you know anything about
It's
my research?
literally 8:30 p.m. at night. I've been waiting all day.
As you know, Pokemon are carried in Pokeballs these days. If you knew anything, if you paid attention.
In school, you fucking idiot, Gilbert. That's why.
I was busy reading lines for my upcoming movie.
Walking with Pokemon, we have to choose Totodile and we have to call him Toto.
Of course, naturally.
That's every time I play a Pokemon game.
I love that. So our main character's Gilbert Gottfried, and and the rival is just like this nerdy, like pathetic sounding dude. Can you walk? Can you walk beside this Pokemon outside? I don't know. Can you?
Special feelings or bonds. Ooh.
Ooh, you're gonna bond with your Pokemon.
I like bonding with Pokemon all day long.
All right, calm your farm.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey,
Wait, no, he shouldn't.
I got an email.
How did he sound in
I don't know. I have no
the original
idea.
anime?
No
the
idea.
the Professor Oak voice is like so iconic
Yeah.
that. Did you hear about the person on Twitter who like ships Jessie with Ash's mom?
Jesse with Ash.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
It's pretty great because like in canon they're
I
like
love how
around
in,
the same
in
age.
this game they changed it so Pokemon eggs were like a remedial, already known thing.
Yeah.
But in the original Game Boy game, it's like, wow, he's got a new discovery. I found an egg. It's like no one's ever seen a
No.
Pokemon.
No one knows what eggs are. Oh shit! Oh
There's a
wait, did you say you want to do Totodile?
Yeah, Totodile.
Okay,
There's a message that's in the Game Boy version that's like, why has no one ever witnessed a Pokemon's birth?
Yeah. Well, they just not pay paying attention
Yeah,
when
the
like
whole time.
they've been living with Pokemon this entire time?
Whenever Pokemon,
In like the original Red and Blue, are Pokemon themselves a recent discovery?
as soon as Pokemon,
They only know 150 exists.
As soon as Pokemon start like getting like given the bedroom eyes, they cover their faces and they're just like, I don't want to see this.
I want to
Toto.
be the best
Toto.
there ever was. To beat all the rest, yeah, that's my cause. Electro Diglett,
Diglett. That's the only Pokemon.
I love the one where it's this old video, YouTube video where they edit it so it's only Jigglypuff. It's like Jigglypuff.
That's what I was going for. I couldn't remember.
And then like the top comment was just like, I think they forgot Jigglypuff. Is that the one you want?
Yeah.
Okay,
Toto.
cool.
Oh, it's just
Electro,
memories when I
Diglett,
played it.
Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey, Seeking, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly,
Bulbasaur.
Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwrath, Butterfree.
Gotcha.
I love how the guy genuinely gets offended in the Pokerap where it's like, we? What's all this we stuff? I'm doing all the hard work.
In the so in the Starbomb Pokemon rap, they named Nickelback as a Pokemon, and also Neil Cicierega
Nickelback.
also did a Pokemon rap parody, and he also called one Nickelback.
Was that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Pokemon.
I can't- I haven't heard
Pokemon.
it
1,
in a
2,
long
3, 4, 5, 6, Pokemon.
I love the
Who you gonna vote for? Barack Obama.
I love-
Who you gonna vote for? Barack Obama.
I love the
1, 2,
Starbomb.
3, 4, 5, 6, Pokemon.
One
Sorry.
of the Starbomb Pokemon songs where at the end of it, Aaron's just like, Pokemon.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that hurt my ear as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely gonna peak on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
How is it that you're usually so quiet and now this time?
Oh yeah, Lyra with her little barrel.
Ash was in trouble as soon as he arrived. And Magna might not make it out of prison alive.
Yeah.
Brought fiery news, lecture Medicine Cooper. It's your lucky day, Pete boasted your bail. But so Ash met his friend outside of the jail. But something was a bit different. He had mentally snapped as he chandelured into his deadly trap.
Yeah.
Suck a yellow dick, bro. I choose you to die. Don't you do it, yelled Ash. You know I got your back, but pull the trigger and shot him twice in the sack. Holy fuck. I don't know if you've been shot in the nuts. Spoiler, it sucks.
Squirtle, Squirtle.
Catch 'em all, they might just ruin your balls. Hey, and poor Misty. Again and again, Gar, she'll have
love
ghastly
again and
screams
again,
that
Gar.
haunt
Haunt
her
your
dreams.
If you got my...
And if you don't, we'll beat your ass till it's Bulbasaur. And that's when the scream happens. But you're not going to do it again,
how
are you?
they did like Starbomb when like Danny didn't really know like much
Anything about video games?
Yeah, but he's just like, yeah. I'll do
I love
this
that it's like
video.
a cover band or like a band about video games, but like in the third album they just randomly have a song about Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Gilbert!
Gilbert!
Al must have
That's a
given
cute
it
Pokemon!
to you? Really? You didn't know, Mother dearest? You told
When
us
we-
to go to Al.
When we leave New Bucktown, we gotta be like, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah,
Because Toto,
yeah.
Gilbert received the Pokegear.
Oh,
Pokemon Gear. Or Pokegear as it's often called. By stupid people who don't know how to use syllables.
Your mom should be like, you forgot your receipt.
Do you remember how? No.
She tells you anyway. You press yes or no, and she always says
Yeah, I
the
find
same
that
thing.
interesting. I remember in the original Pokemon Red, they gave you the they don't give you the option, but there's a person at the end of the Golden Bridge who's like, "Do you want to join Team
Yeah,
Rocket?"
yes.
And it would have been great if there was like a yes or no,
and then it
like
changes the whole thing.
yeah, and then the whole
I
game
remember
changes, like
when
Evangelion.
when I played Red or Blue for the first time, and I saw Gary, and Gary was like, "I'm going to tell my sister not to give you a town map." I was like, "Okay, so I'm not going to go talk to his sister then."
Hey
'cause she's not
kid,
gonna-"
you forgot your receipt for adventure.
He's about to give you a receipt.
Okay, so I'm gonna fill in our audience.
Yeah.
I'm Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in.
Oh yeah.
So me and Casey, when he came over, we were just going. We were doing our YouTube deep dive thing. We went before 2010 and looked up random Pokemon parody, and there was this like compilation thing called Pokemon Battles Parody or something like that.
Yeah.
This really long video, which I think is a bunch of parody flash animations just strung together, and the parody like had nothing explicitly to do with Pokemon. It was a bunch of lewd drug and sex jokes and just like, and again,
Plenty of,
literally
like,
nothing to do with Pokemon.
As it progressed, Misty got more and more sexually well drawn.
There's one bit they clearly like aged her up in that.
They got much better at art.
And there's just like one bit where like Brock gets like like cut in half like a Jew, and he's just like he continues like walking on his stump with his hands, and then there's just one bit in the middle where Brock's just because like they have this huge argument, they have this huge fight in the middle, and then it cuts. And then, like, Ash goes to leave on it by himself, but then Brock, like, there's this, like, sentimental moment where he's like, hey kid, you forgot your receipt for adventure! And he, like, pulls out a ticket or something.
We could not just handle the hilarity. That line was just engraved in our minds.
Nothing in that made any sense whatsoever. There's also that one bit, and I'll bleep it out, but Professor Oak, like, gets into Ash's bed, and, like, clearly is, like, about to do something, and then, like, Ash is just, like, clearly, like, scared, and Oak's just like, shh! If you tell the police, we'll both be in trouble!
Oh, God. It's that fat guy that tells you to save, right? He's
or he talks about technology, maybe?
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to take a break, so I saved to record my progress.
And then I ate more donuts.
And
then I was really slow because I'm fat, you see.
then I ate even more donuts. And then I got home to my Discord kitten.
Oh, God. Oh.
I love that one video that's just like a bunch of fat people dancing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's just like the Discord mod me. The caption.
Go Toto!
What's that video when it's like Grand Theft Auto? It's like the meeting of the fat guys, and they're just like, "Rrr."
Do you
So
remember?
we're agreed then. Rrr.
We're all in agreement. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the meeting of the beers.
Do you remember Garymon?
Yes.
One of my favorite Pokemon parodies of all time. It's like a mix of like Pokemon and Half-Life Full Life Consequences, where they use the exact John Freeman model from Full Life Consequences.
Full Life Consequences.
John Freeman, who was Gordon Freeman's brother, was one day in office typing on a computer. He got an email from his brother that said that aliens and monsters were attacking his place, and asked him for help. So he went.
He went. He came and then went.
So he killed the zombie ghosts, so they were at peace. Because you're a headcrab zombie.
I do love how closely they followed the actual Pokemon anime story.
I love when they're like, and the pants were dead. And the sun was almost down from the top of the sky.
Garymon!
What? Yeah. It's like almost, it's a mix between a Pokemon Abridged series and like a Gary's Mod parody animation.
And I love how like people are like, are you gonna make any more Garymon? And they're like,
no. I think they had like a falling out or like a bad
I remember because like
thing with
before
Machinima.
The third episode, they're like, oh yeah, we're joining Machinima, and they're gonna put the episode on their channel. It's like the worst deal you could ever fucking choose ever.
There are so many people who got screwed over by Machinima hardcore.
Machinima, like Lyle got fucking completely messed over.
This is a Pokemon mart. They sell balls.
Why is every old man sound like Professor Oak? Well, you know what would be really interesting? If like there was a boy born into the Nurse Joy family, but he still had to wear the scar like the other nurse, all the other Nurse Joys. I mean, wouldn't it be funny?
We didn't expect that, but okay.
Do you think Yoshi gets embarrassed when he farts eggs? Haha, I thought this was a funny one.
Yeah, wonder what Yoshi's eggs smell like. Haha, just
kidding. Haha, just kidding. I recently saw this like for a while I've been wanting to make a lore video on Linkara, but then someone else like went ahead and made the Linkara lore video, and thank God they did because it is so convoluted and bizarre. No shade to Linkara or anything like that, but it's just like, thank goodness I didn't like do a deep dive on this stuff and waste time on it. Because it's like, there's Mecha Linkara, but then there's like a villain on a deeper level called like Nitrous or something like that. And it's like, It's very clearly like Power Rangers fan fiction.
I love how Linkara made like an irate gamer parody video.
Yeah, but
and then Ernie Plays makes fun of him, and he's like, I don't like them at all. That's
but like,
mean.
it's not just that. It's the fact that like in the Linkara lore, like the series itself, the show is equally as bad, if not worse, than the skits that the irate gamer puts into his videos. They're just as like self-masturbatory and like, oh, look at me, I'm the hero of the universe kind of stuff. I saved the world from a giant robot. It's the exact... The Linkara show and the irate gamer show are the exact same thing!
My favorite quote from the Linkara irate gamer parody is when he's like, this comic sucks. Look how long it takes me to turn the page. And he just like he just like closes the book and the page moves really slowly.
This Pokemon game sucks. Look at how long it takes me to leave this house.
Oh, who are these people again? Who are they? What they saying? How you doing the thing?
I could take a shit longer than it would take to play this game.
This is what happens when you forget your receipt for adventure.
Yeah.
You spend too long in the house.
Oh, good stuff though.
Oh.
I love the graphics in this game. So do we just keep going?
Oh,
were we meant to do something?
Ooh,
Yeah,
you can't go there.
I made it. I forgot about one thing. There's another token for me.
Token for adventure. We're gonna go to Mr. Pokemon's house. So yeah.
Thank you for this town map.
Yeah, touchscreen, select the town map. It's interesting to see how they change the events around. Because when I made my ROM hack Pokemon Bronze, like, I made it just knowing every single event and what happens when to, like, morph the events into different events. And I just used my memory of the actual game and remembered, like, what I changed into what. Like, I didn't really have any documentation. I just remembered it in my brain where everything was.
Isn't it interesting how, like, being a Pokemon ROM hacker is, like, this really niche, obscure thing where, like, people who aren't interested in ROM hacking probably wouldn't care what you're talking about. But, like, the people who are, like, really into Pokemon ROM hacks would be, like, super into what you're talking about. I just find that interesting how, like, I always have this,
He's like, this is new. He's like, go to my house, fucker. You will see Mr. Pokemon. It's made for babies, this version.
Yeah, pretty much.
Apricot trees bear fruit. This guy originally gave you a berry, not an apricot.
But the question I was going to ask is, as a content creator or an artist or whatever, should you spend your time on this planet making things that'll appeal to the majority, or do the things that appeal to you personally? I feel like every creator on the planet, like, wrestles with that conundrum to some degree. What do you think?
I'm gonna wrestle with you with oil and shit. I like how he's got like 4 eyes.
Naked? Is it finally time?
Look, he's got 4 eyes. See,
that's not.
His eyebrows.
That's like
look
people
like
that
eyes.
say that Kim Possible has a mustache. It's like, this is what she looks like without a mustache.
Someone drew Kim Possible and I was like, oh, where's the mustache? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm just like,
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Go Toto! Fuck up that Rattata!
Ratatouille.
Fuck up Ratatouille!
Ratatouille.
I'm gonna...
How
That's
did-
my favorite Pixar movie, is
How-
Ratatouille!
How to ratatouille your panda.
What was the name of that, like, really bizarre panda movie that was clearly a knockoff of Kung Fu Panda?
It's something, I don't know. I know the ratatouille one.
Yeah, ratatouille.
Chef Marcel Toing, the freshest toy.
Meet Marcel Toing. He, the finest toing. He can create the finest toing. Toing.
Chef
Meet
Marcel
Marcel Toing.
He was Little Panda Fighter.
Oh yeah, it was the little panda fighter. You're right. Yeah, I really miss when I Hate Everything used to like upload regularly.
Now it's just Destiny.
He just does
DLC.
Yeah, he either talks about games he's been playing for like long periods of time, or he does his like 2 different podcasts.
Oh
Yeah, you either die a Let's Player, or you live long enough to see yourself become a podcast. Do a bunch of white guys with a podcast.
yeah. What's your favorite podcast?
At the moment, I've been listening to 2 guys talking about lettuce.
What?
It's a podcast called Two Guys Talking About Letters, and it's Wheezy Waiter and Mediocre Films. Just like, they just do improv off of each other for like a good hour or so. And it's really funny.
The one I listen to the
It has
most...
nothing to do with lettuce.
The one I listen to the most is Predators I've Caught with Chris Hansen.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to that on the way, on the train. On the way,
I have been
yeah.
rewatching a lot of Sleepy Cabin.
Oh, yeah.
And people...
I'm so embarrassed.
I find it funny that, like, Oni on his, like, Oni Plays show, like, hasn't been cancelled for anything. But, like, if the Tumblr generation got a hold of Sleepy Cabin, they'd be like, oh, this guy makes smiling friends for Adult Swim, and he said this terrible thing.
Go, Rattata! Tackle! Whoa! This is a big battle! Leave me the fuck alone, you piece of shit!
I always thought it was the coolest thing, when playing Pokemon games, when they did those, like, not exactly cutscenes, I'm not sure what you'd call them, but on the overworld when they had, like, slight movement.
Stuff
like that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like, it portrays
like,
Pokemon
I loved
battles.
programming those. I did a whole bunch of them in my Max.
Remember when you were like, is that my water?
Yeah.
I don't believe
I don't
you.
believe you.